There's more to life than just wallowing inside yourself.
So how did you get into yoga?
Well, see, I was going down like a very bad road, and I ended up getting a D.U.I. and ended myself in Lancaster County Prison, and I met Beth and Lisa from Evolution while I was in there because they were coming in every day. And eventually it got to the point where I ended up going down there. I became a Karmi, and they just gave me a scholarship to go be an instructor. So I kind of like turned my life like 360 completely around. And
So you used yoga to
empower my life and kind of help me turn it around.
What is it that you found in yoga that made you turn around?
See, that's the thing, like I always thought like yoga was just something, like never pictured myself doing it. I was like, it's too much work, too much exercise. But then like once you start doing it, like you release so much like toxins out of your body that it kind of just like, it brings you to peace with yourself. Kind of like makes you see yourself for who you really are and not who you pretend to be.
So let's go back as far as you feel comfortable going back, and what was this downward slope that you were on?
I became like a real big drinker after I turned 21. You know, wanted to go out to the bar all the time, and I was driving home one night, ended up getting into a car accident, and that's what landed me in prison. And it's like I had my life together, like I was doing okay, but it's not something like my life was going nowhere. I was just at a steady like pace, just drinking all the time, going to work, coming home, going to bed, drinking.
How old were you when you had the accident?
21.
So you went to jail when you were 21? Mm-hmm. Wow, that's young, huh?
Yeah, I was in there for 9 months.
What did you like most about that?
Probably meeting, like, I got to know like the warden in there, and I met Beth and Lisa and got into yoga. So that's probably like what I liked the most. I didn't like it at all.
Yeah, what was the hardest thing that you realized while you were in there?
That we take so many things for granted, like just little things that we can't get in there. Like, you know, not contact with your family, because there's like, you know, you're behind a glass when you have visit.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't shower whenever you want to, you can't, you know, eat whenever you want to, like you're on somebody else's schedule, like you're living somebody else's life, basically.
Yeah, that has to really hit hard.
Especially because like that, never pictured myself in trouble, like I'm not like a horribly bad kid, or didn't really like, you know, didn't do drugs, I just drank.
Let's go back to the point where I take it you were in the accident, you were arrested, and you had to go to court. What was going through your head at that point?
That I really messed up.
Yeah.
That I shouldn't have got behind the wheel of a car that night. But at the same time, like I was mad. I was kind of like mad at life for throwing those things at me. But it gave me a chance to sit down and see like it wasn't life, it was me doing it, and that I should have took responsibility for it then, not months later. It's not worth getting behind the wheel of a car when you have any alcohol in your system.
You have a whole lot of empty time to fill.
Yeah, a lot. And there's a lot of people that just like sleep the whole time they're in there, and like I just couldn't do it because, you know, I was a hyper person. Once I'm up, and it just wasn't working for me. So like I was doing everything I could in there to, you know, like I was working in the prison before I got put on work release.
What were you doing working in there?
I was cleaning the warden's office.
Okay.
She's the first female warden there.
Oh, okay.
And she does juggle a lot. So like she was like a huge motivation of mine to like, look what she's doing, like I can do something myself too to help.
When you started to get into yoga, I guess you came to some kind of realization with yourself?
Like while I was in there, like I thought that I was just gonna go back to doing like what I did. Like I'd just go work, drink, you know, do it all over again. But then like when I started doing yoga, like I started pushing my body to like limits it's never been before, and realized how much it's easier and like better to be, you know, sober in a way and just like see life for what it really is. In one class they did call me out and say that like I did make a huge transition from like the beginning of class until like I was out of there. So
if someone's interested in getting into yoga, I always thought about getting into yoga, but I was probably like you, like I'm not really like flexible or physically active or anything like that. What kind of advice would you give to someone like that?
There's a lot of people that do yoga that you wouldn't even, like, you'd see on the street and would never think that would do something. Like, you know, we have females, males, people that have arthritis that go to, like, soothe their joints. After you do it, like, if you do it one time, like, yeah, your body's gonna hurt. But if you continue to do it, it releases things in your body, and it, like, you're more flexible than what you think you are. Like, you just gotta warm your muscles up.
Outside of yoga, what are some of your interests?
Animals. I love animals. I plan on going to school to be a technician.
Okay.
In 2020, I believe it is.
So we gotta catch you doing some goat yoga
Yeah.
sometime?
I do want to do it with, like, dogs.
Yeah?
I do some, like, pet yoga.
Yeah.
But yeah, that it's always been an interest of mine, like horseback riding, just animals in general. I'm just, like, a very, like, outdoorsy person. Like, after I get done with my schooling, I kind of want to help other women, kind of like how they helped me.
Do you consider yourself a completely different person from before and now?
A lot of my friends come to me and was like, "You're so calm now." I was like, "I am." Like, I used to be, like, real hyper and, like, always wanted to do something. Now I'm just calm and collected. I'm glad that I had that chance to turn my life around before it did get too ugly. Like, I've always talked about going to school, you know, doing this, doing that, and in reality, I probably would have never done it. But this got me every building block that I needed. I'm glad that I'm where I am now.